Hi, my name is Samantha, and welcome back to the Nut-Free Delicacies, an allergy-friendly cooking channel focused on making peanut, tree nut, and soy-free recipes that are delicious. And on today's episode, we'll be making roasted broccoli. Let's get started. So what you will need a sheet pan. I'm using a larger size today because I'm using 2 heads of broccoli. You'll need a colander that we're going to rinse the broccoli in. You're going to need parchment paper. My favorite is the Smart Grid. Yeah, Smart Grid parchment from Reynolds, but any of them will do. And so just tear off a piece. Doesn't have to be exact. You'll also need aluminum foil, and that will come later. So I'll pull that out. So a word on broccoli. Let me open this up. Usually broccoli florets will have a rubber band around them, and I typically avoid those type because I have a latex allergy and you just don't know what's in the rubber band. But these ones were from Walmart and they didn't have the rubber band. So I went with the floret itself, the head of broccoli. But also at Walmart, they sell pre-chopped where it's just the little bits and pieces already broken up. And those would work also. You just want to make sure that they're fresh and not frozen. So I'm going to put that in there, both of them. And then I'm going to use cold water. And before I start this, I'm going to set the oven to 400 degrees so it can preheat. So that's preheating while we're prepping it. So I'm going to rinse them, get between the individual florets. And the little bit of water will come in hand later. The aluminum will be a tint over top. And so the first part of the baking is kind of steaming them, cooking them. And then the second half is roasting them, making them nice and crispy and delicious. But if you just go straight to roasting them, then they won't be fully cooked. They'll be raw, and that's not the best. Okay, so I just use my hands. You can use a knife if you want, but you don't have to. And I just break them up. I break off the little pieces that are a little too rough. Let's see, like that piece is too rough. Okay. You don't have to be too big. You don't have to be too small. These ones are kind of bigger. I could probably break them up smaller if I wanted. Yeah, I think I'm going to break it up smaller. Okay, let's see what else I can grab. And it's not a science. I mean, it's just, you want them to be roughly the same size just to make it easier to cook. But they don't have to be exact. You don't want the pan to be too crowded because otherwise it'll just steam and not roast. So, all right, let's see. So that's all the broccoli. And next we will put, hold on, my glasses are falling. Next we will add olive oil, salt and pepper. So my favorite olive oil is the Bertulli extra virgin olive oil, rich taste. I have tried other ones, but this is the one I go back to. I have tried Kroger brand and it said it was 100% extra virgin olive oil. And right now I'm just sprinkling it on top. But I broke out really bad to it. And so I wonder if it had cross-contamination or was processed in a facility with peanut, tree nut, or soy in it. I'm personally okay with soybean oil, but not anything with peanuts or soy protein. So up next, I'm just doing black pepper. Again, McCormick, one of my favorites. Great Value and McCormick are my favorite spice brands. They're the cleanest in my opinion. You can use a pepper grinder too if you want, but I'm just using my baking pepper. And then for cooking, my favorite salt is the Morton Coarse Kosher salt. They come in this container, but they also come in a box, and you can just twist the lid off and refill it. I like this, pretty snazzy. It's got the little sprinkle tab, and then it's also got like a pour for recipes. So I'm just going to use the sprinkle side. And you just sprinkle it on top, not too much, not too little. And my hands are already clean, so what we're going to do is we're just going to massage the broccoli, make sure everything is coated. I'll make sure it's well and coated. I think it's a fun part of it because you know the deliciousness is coming, you know? Okay, let me spread them out. Make sure they're not too crowded. Okay, the last step before we put this sheet of broccoli in the oven is to add our aluminum foil tint on top. My favorite is Reynolds Wrap, but you can use any brand. This is a larger pan, so I'll need to use 2 sheets. Okay. This is part of why it's important to have a roasting pan so that you can curl around the edges of the pan. And that helps lock the steam in. Because the first half of the cooking is to cook the broccoli and the second half is to roast it. Put it around. Now, depending on your oven at 400 degrees and your altitude, you may only need to do 20 minutes of this first step. I'm going to do 30, but it just depends. And after the 20 to 30 minutes at 400 degrees, then you will take off the aluminum foil, and then you will put it back in the oven for another 20 minutes, and it'll be perfect. So we have our parchment paper, our broccoli mixture, and our tint, and it's curled around the edges. Next, we're going to put it in the oven on the center rack for 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your altitude and your oven. Okay, so it has been 20 minutes, but I am starting to smell the broccoli. And so I am going to go ahead and take the aluminum foil off now. Again, it's dependent on your elevation and on your oven. I've been traveling and making it while I travel, so it's a little different. So let me go ahead, close this. You can see the steam coming off. We're just going to curl the edges. Let the steam escape so you don't burn yourself. All right. The aluminum cools off pretty fast. Okay. So as you can see, we have steamed broccoli, but now we're going to roast it. And this is where the magic happens. So I'm going to put it back in for another 20 minutes on the center rack. Okay, it has been 20 minutes uncovered, and now it's time to pull it out and look at our final product. Whew, let the steam clear. It fogged my glasses. Oh yeah, that looks so good. Let me see if I can get you a close-up on it. Look at all that yumminess. That's what you want to see. They're cooked through, but then you have crispy bits. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Can't wait to make the next one. Bye.